Bhaskar, Auntie Santha Bhaskar is here with us. And I'm not, you see, you can generally Google information about her because she is undoubtedly a very important personality in Singapore's arts in general, and in particular in the development of Indian dance in Singapore and this part of the world, in Southeast Asia as well. And they also, of course, they are also pioneers in starting an art gallery as well, Bhaskar Arts Gallery. So it used to be, the entire association used to be known as Nrutyalaya Aesthetic Society, but now it's more commonly known as the Bhaskar Arts Academy. And I take the greatest pleasure in inviting the owner and also the acclaimed artistic director of the non-profit organization that I've been speaking about a while ago. I welcome the cultural medallion winner, Mrs. Santha Bhaskar, please. A round of applause, please. Thank you.
Okay. Namaskaram, vanakkam to everybody.
Yes, hi, Auntie.
Hi, everybody. Hi.
Auntie, good to see you, Auntie.
It's a pleasure to be around with all the artists. As I told Vidya, my husband used to be the ardent devotee of hard works, and I concentrated mostly on dance. So, although dance connects art, any kind of art, like my husband Mr. Bhaskar was ardent devotee of visual arts, and he, as Vidya suggested that, like earlier said, that he collected a lot of hard work, and we have a small gallery up there. But what I did was concentrating on my work as dance, choreographing, and then teaching. So that is my job. Okay, Vidya, what you wanted to ask me?
You put it in a very simple manner, Auntie, but I would like to let you all know that she's indeed the pioneering artistic director in this part of the world. And of course, Indian dance is around here in Singapore today because of her contribution, her and Uncle Bhaskar's contribution, and of course hard work. It wasn't easy, of course, coming into this territory. I know, Auntie, but that I'm not going to go into. We will have it as a separate session, with your permission, a lengthy interview, whereby we can discuss more about your extraordinary journey. But with your permission, can I start off with the first question, Auntie?
Yes, please do that. Like,
okay,
when you
thank
ask
you.
questions, I can answer better.
Okay, Auntie, sure. So I will just read from here, and you please go ahead and answer as you feel like. Auntie, what has been the most joyful aspect of your incredible journey as a dance educator who has nurtured and groomed countless number of Bharatanatyam dancers?
Of course, the joy of seeing good performers, and they become dance educators. So I think that is the best joy that I ever, enjoyed. I should say that. I started my journey here. Maybe I need to have a little bit of my history.
Okay,
I
sure,
came here in 1955 with Mr. Bhaskar. I got married to him, and I was only age of 15 at that time. Came to Singapore, an unknown land for me. And the day I came, Mr. Bhaskar was already an established dancer and teacher in Singapore. So I joined him, and then the second day he told me to go and teach dance. I never had any experience in teaching dance, as only I knew how to dance on stage. With somebody give me a costume, I will put on the costume and dance. So that's how we started my journey in Singapore. We have, Singapore was not independent at that time. We were called Malaya. So we used to travel to Malaya to teach dance, and lot of young dancers, female dancers learn dance, and all of them have been kind of settled down, and either they teach dance and then they become like performers for some time, and so the journey was like traveling from Singapore to Malaya to teach dance and come back weekends. It was quite a tough time because Singapore was very young and Malaya was very young to still, we were like trying to find our ways to make the land for many people. Then after independence, we still went to Malaysia to teach dance too, until for 5 years, because we need passport to travel there, and then came back. So Malaysia has been a kind of like part of our life. I cannot say that I'm separated from Malaysia. Even now, a lot of things we are connected to Malaysia. In this time of teaching dance, like we have taught a lot of students dance. Um, and as you know, Singapore is not a place that like in India you could travel and perform. So
Yes.
to do dance as a full time, it's a kind of like quite a difficult situation in Singapore, because we don't have that much of resources that a dancer can become full timer and then perform, especially to perform. So what happened is that most of the students who studied dance and they did arangetrams, after that they get married, they settle down in life, and what they do that they some of them have started teaching dance. And they, even now we have a lot of my students who have their own schools, institutions, teach dance, and they put up performances, and they start sharing their art, which from us it has traveled to other places. A similar way, some of them have migrated to other countries. Even there also, they have started their own, academy, and then they have promoting dance in that part of the world. So this is what the journey of my, naturing dancers, and then we both did it. Me and Mr. Bhaskar together did the job, and then actually I should say that he nurtured me because I was too young. I didn't know what is dance is all about actually. In the age of 15, after school, I just got married and came here after college, and then he nurtured me, I should say that. And I'm grateful to this part of the land and to Mr. Bhaskar for, to be here and then talking to you as a dance educator.
It's
I think it is like the journey that which I talk about, like is for a dancer. It is it is their passion, I suppose. So quite a number of them are passionate toward learning
yes.
dance, and it was the parents that who helped promote them to motivated them to come to dance classes, because in those days that to get married that you need dowry. So there was a norm that if you know music or dance, then you don't have to pay so much of dowry. That's one
Okay.
reason they started learning dance. So I just wanted to tell you the situation.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so that is like, and for in Singapore at that time there were a lot of Ceylon Tamils.
Okay.
We are grateful to them too, because they were the students that they wanted to learn dance and music. The parents, immediately put them into dance class, like they know that somebody is teaching dance.
Okay.
So
They
it
saw
was,
the value in it.
yeah, they saw
Amazing.
the value in it, and then they started, motivating. They were most of my other students were Ceylon Tamils actually. They were not the Singaporean, that Indian, origin students who came to learn. Very few came at that time. So
Okay.
learning dance they learn dance for two reasons. Generally, which I feel that like you learn dance because everybody cannot become a good performer, but you will
Yes.
appreciate dance. You will become
It's
an
an
audience.
important point actually. You don't
Yeah,
need
you
to
will
become
become an
a
audience.
dancer if you learn dance, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
correct. You become an audience at least for a performance, you see. So I think in that way, I think they have done pretty good job, I suppose.
Yes,
But we're
absolutely.
thankful
No
for
doubt
that.
about that, Auntie.
Thankful for all that journey. Yeah.
Having said that, I enjoyed that flow sentiment that was going through you when you were talking about Uncle Bhaskar. So
Yeah.
just to let you know that we also miss him, and
Yes, me too.
but he is living in, right, in his on all the
Yeah.
art forms that are being performed and practiced in Bhaskar arts.
Of course, he's there all the time and
Okay,
blessing each one of them. Yeah.
it's wonderful, Auntie. Auntie, I'll just move on to the next question, just
Mm.
because of time constraints.
Sure.
Auntie, what is it that truly happens during the process of conceptualizing and researching on a theme for your choreography? Is
Mhm.
there a ritual that you abide by? Do you await the moment of inspiration? Do you follow an intuitive calling? Or does the process lean largely towards practicality and the likes of the targeted audience?
Uh, well,
It,
it's a
I know it's
question
a
that
longish, it's a tough, I mean,
I
not
know.
tough one, but a long, lengthy one.
Yeah, it's okay. Actually, the ritual is that, like for me, uh, an inspiration, a seed is planted on my mind,
Mm, 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 mm.
and then consciously, at times subconsciously, it started growing as a small little plant with beautiful leaves, and then I do nature them with my positive energy, and that small plant slowly bear flowers, and they are fragrant. Then they bear tasty fruits.
Mm.
This little offering that I give to my divinities as my audience, they are my audience. So this is what happens for all my productions. I really I used to tell people that, like, I'm getting pregnant now. If I have production coming up, I tell them I'm just getting pregnant. In
Getting
10 months I
pregnant.
need to deliver.
Oh, it's an
So
excellent analogy.
yeah, this is what happens in my mode of conceptualizing an idea or a theme or whatever it is. Like, of course, like in the early age I've been introduced to, I hope you have time with
Yes,
that.
please go on, Auntie.
Yeah,
Yes.
the first, I studied Kerala Nadanam because I'm from Kerala. I studied Kerala Nadanam, Kathakali and
Yes.
Mohiniyattam. And
Mm-mm.
in the 40s, when I studied dance, my first introduction to a Varnam was Maharaja Swati Tirunal's Adadal Kambuja Raga Varnam, in
Okay.
which Madras even they never thought of doing a Tana Varnam for a dance performance or a dance choreography, because
Okay.
they depended upon Pada Varnam all the time.
Yes,
And
yes, yes.
also, I have been introduced to poetries from by Changambada, and I have performed Kavya Nartagi as one of the poetry that my master choreographed, Guru choreographed. Then
Okay.
I came to Chennai to study Bharatanatyam after my marriage under Guru Kuttalam Ganeshambala Sar Vadyar, and I studied in with him. I stayed with him. I did crash course on Bharatanatyam, so it was like Gurukula Vasam.
Yeah.
He used to
Yes.
he used to give me whatever I need, because I never spoke Tamil. So I studied
Mm-mm.
Tamil with Bharatanatyam at that time. I learned how to write and read Tamil, and then he taught me. And that the beauty of that is that even he taught me a shabdam it's a Tamil Thai வாழ்த்து. It is
Mm-mm.
நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தி.
Yes,
That is a
yes, yes.
shabdam choreographed by him. So it was
Okay.
a poetry. It was not the traditional shabdam which he taught me in the
Mm.
beginning. Same as Varnam. The Varnam was Vanarnda Podiyin Miss. It's a Tamil poetry composed as a Varnam. So I have been exposed to this kind of poetry and then new ideas. So for me, like
Which is so essential for a choreographer,
yeah,
right?
so
Yes.
this is how I was being, more natured by my gurus. And then when I came here, of course, I studied, we started learning Chinese dance and Malay dance in that 1950s.
And Thai dance, too, you
Yeah,
learned, right?
correct.
Eventually,
Because,
yes.
yeah, I came into a place, there is multicultural, uh, vibe, and then there is multi-ethnic people who spoke different languages were here, and it
Mm-mm.
was like an eye-opening for me. So my first dance drama choreography was this Chinese story called Butterfly Lovers, Liang Shanpo Chewing Thai, which Mr.
Mm-mm.
Bhaskar and we both saw a movie, a Chinese movie. And we thought
Okay.
that was a good idea to do a choreography in Indian dance drama. So that was in the 1958, so which this
Okay.
choreography was done. So, I've been exposed to a lot of other things. So my ideas and choreography is it's all also very different
Yes, it's
than
broad
anybody
and
can.
and then
Yeah,
I think you stretch the level of creativity that one can go.
yeah, it's kind of
Yeah.
everything inspired, like any poetry which inspires me, like I would like to do it. And any Carnatic music, I have composed a lot of Carnatic music compositions into Bharatanatyam in that early time. It's in the 60s and 70s.
This is
So,
for the dance dramas or separately, Auntie?
separately for like arangetrams and then, for other Margam performances. So I choreograph like uh, Deechadar Kridis and then, and of course, like later I read Tamil and I choreograph items of Purananur, Agananur. Then, yeah, so, even recently for Marabu, we had Purananur and Aganarur poetry taken for for the choreography.
Right,
So
right.
I've been exposed to a lot of other things like Thai dance. So I went to Thailand to study Thai dance. So came back and choreographed Manora, which is a Thai
Yes,
story, but it happens in
absolutely.
India, in Himalaya. Yeah. So, and I teach at Singapore University, National University of Singapore, at the Center for the Arts. Over there, I work with other dance genres of choreographers, and we put up performances like reflections. All six dance groups are on stage doing our own work, and we
Right.
collaborate. There's one time I did a collaboration with a hip hop sir, Mr. Patrick,
Okay.
and we did it was the production was called Pappadam. So
Okay.
yeah. So there's a lot of other work have been like collaborative work have been done. Also recently, the Indian influence which happens in Southeast Asia
Right,
and
right.
ASEAN countries. So that was one production that a few productions that I have done, like collaborating with Cambodia, with Indonesia, and
Right,
yeah. So that was one was in Brahmanala, another was Vinayaka with Indonesia,
right,
and we
right,
went to
right.
Indonesia to perform Vinayaka also with the Indonesian dancers. So a lot of collaboration have been done, and
Yes,
recently,
I
2 years ago, yeah, Vidya, I did it like a production about
two
quantum.
years 2 years ago, Auntie?
Yeah, 2 years ago,
Okay.
quantum theory for like for a university.
On
Uh,
quantum
it was-
theory.
yeah, and also
Okay.
Fibonacci counts, how Bharatanatyam and Fibonacci counts can be connected. So that
Right,
it's a kind
right.
of research work. Yeah,
Like this Capra's research, Auntie, on Nataraja's dance
Camp-
being the dance of
correct.
subatomic particles.
That's right. It's a campus
How,
research work. Yeah, yeah.
mm.
Like that. Like
And I
all
think that
this have been,
that
yeah,
should be
being
continued, Auntie. Please continue such pursuits because this is so much needed actually for all kinds of creators, not only dancers, painters, sculptors,
yeah,
even in computer artists,
yeah, sure.
multimedia artists, and also this is a very basic thing that everyone needs to widen their horizons when it comes to theory, and only people like you who have worked hard for this influential status that you are in, that can ensure such collaborations.
Yeah. Actually, I should be grateful to university too. Like, they have been giving me all these ideas and themes and everything to work on. So, I should be grateful to all these blessings that I have around.
Yes,
So it
yes,
is,
yes, Auntie.
yeah.
So thank you, Auntie. Auntie, I just want to ask you this because this is something that I there are two more questions. Please bear with me, and everyone
Sure.
bear with us because it's quite a rare opportunity. It's not very easy to. I mean, thanks to COVID-19, although it is a wicked virus, but thanks to that, we are having some free time with Auntie, and please cherish that. So, Auntie, please share with us a few of your favorite or most preferred mythological narratives or facets of everyday life that have inspired you as a person and as a dance exponent. Like, for example, Auntie, like Kalinga Nartana, Krishna,
Mhm.
this kind of this kind of concepts. Auntie, is there any kind of a concept that is so much part of your being
Yeah.
that comes recurringly in your art?
I am actually Ramayana and Mahabhagavatam, not Mahabharatam,
Yes,
Mahabhagavatam.
Bhagavatam.
These,
Yes,
these two, compositions have been inspired a lot to do my lot of choreography I've done through this two literature. I should say that, like, yeah.
okay.
And in
All
Ramayana,
right.
actually, the uh, most my how do I say that my whenever I think about it, I feel very choked up. That particular
Okay.
place where Hanuman see Sita, and he goes back to Rama and then say that, like, I found Sita. That is still like it is very, very emotionally for me, it is connected.
It's connected to, yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so yeah, I have done Ramayana in so many ways. Like the whole Ramayana have been conceptualized and then as does dance drama, and then many ways. And there was one poetry written by one of our Singapore poet. His name is Simon Tay.
Okay.
He wrote a poetry on Sita's complaint.
Oh, yes,
So
yes, yes, yeah.
yeah, I do not know how many people have read that book, his poetry,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
in that it changed my my uh, idea, and then my concept about Ramayana completely when I read. And he wrote Ramayana by seeing in Indonesian wayang kulit. Not He has not seen Indian Ramayana. He has not read Ramayana at all. After
Okay.
seeing the wayang kulit, he wrote the poetry. So that I played us for one of our festivals, and that has been like it changed my whole attitude about Ramayana actually. Then after that, I started reading more on Ramayana, and a lot of other influences were there, where I did choreograph many productions on Ramayana.
Auntie, how
And
are your attitude towards Ravana? Did it change?
of course, it changed. That is why this
Yes,
season in Sita's complaint, Ravana is not a bad person. Yeah,
yes, yes,
when Simon
yes.
Tay wrote, he didn't, reflect Ravana's, any of Ravana's bad qualities that we all think that. Yeah, he was a hero in his poetry. It's a very nice poetry. If anybody have any access to Simon Tay's Sita's complaint, please read it. I think it
Yes,
is.
yes,
And also Kaupa Kun's, our one of our theater exponent, like,
yes, yes, yes.
and his poetry on Silly Little Girl and then The Tree also was one of my very favorite, poetry which I choreographed at that time. And I have done like Alvin Tan, and then Professor Edwin composed poetry about
Mm-hmm.
banyan tree. So all these have been like my very favorite, very close to my heart, most of the
Yes.
choreographies
This is
that.
what I wanted to hear from you, Auntie, because everyone has a favorite scene, a favorite element that makes us, like
Yeah.
touches our quantum aspect.
Hmm.
At the end of the day, Auntie, isn't that it? Right? The
Yeah.
energy that we without any choice,
Hmm.
it's like
Yeah.
we are just put into this energy field, and
Yeah.
we are all managing that in this universe.
Yeah.
And
And
uh,
I'm pretty lucky that I do teach at Singapore University at the Center for the Arts for
right.
many, many years. And then over there, I have developed my other side of me. See, over there, I have all the freedom to do anything I like. I have done Maya Angelou's poetry. Still I
Oh,
write.
yes, yes.
Yeah, still I write that poetry. And then like Malay pantuns, and then Chinese poetry. And of course, Bharatiya poetries are my very favorite ones. All that have been choreographed into dance for university and for our own production under Bhaskars too. And we recently did Marabu. So
Mm-mm-mm.
that is part one, part two. Part two is supposed to be coming next year. Actually, it's supposed to be in this year,
Okay.
because of like these problems in
Of
Singapore,
course, yes.
and you have been postponed to next year. That is, the Marabu will be like 1, 2, 3, the three in uh,
In the series,
part in three parts.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
we'll wait for Marabu. We'll wait for next year's Marabu.
yeah, please do.
Auntie, I have this, for now, the final question. Actually, I don't enjoy saying the word final. So it's
Yeah,
if the question that I would like to ask you next, but which I actually have thought about, which lingers always in my mind when it comes to any kind of a creative process, whether it's a painting or a
mm,
sculpture or dance or a singing before singing or so. So I wanted to ask you your perspective, Auntie. Speaking of rituals that may not necessarily be of a religious nature, is there a ritual that you undertake with or without your performers before the start of a recital? Because I know Chandralekha has this non-religious, a ritual that she does with the dancers, and also Auntie is Auntie. So Auntie has her own ritual. Are you willing to share that with us, Auntie?
sure. we do a ritual, very simple ritual, and we do hold our hands together for combined energy,
Okay.
and close our eyes, and then I tell the dancers, and we take turns. Some of the dancers, they do lead the whole ritual before the performance, to concentrate on the breath. Start breathing and you be aware of your breath. So that will give you more energy while you're dancing. We don't say, there is no we don't say any mantras or anything. We leave them to breathe. I think that helped most of the dancers to relax before they go to stage, before their performance.
Right.
I
Right.
think that's the ritual that we practice all these years. Even for Arangetrams, we do have a prayer before Arangetram.
Yes.
And we may have a small altar there, and then people, all of us go and then do some ritual over there. But still, after that, we do this same system of be aware of the breath, and then be in the stage, experience the space, and that is your temple. Actually, you're going to perform, and we always tell the dancers, the audience are the gods. So you are one with them. So whether you are acting as a Vishnu or Krishna or even Ravana, but then be in the character, and then that is what that you need. Forget about yourself. You are no more as Shanta or Shruti or there's no name. You are the character at that time. We tell them to do that, mentally prepare for them so that is the ritual that we practice. So I hope
Beautiful.
I answered your question.
Yes, of course. Beautiful, Auntie. Very beautiful indeed. And then, sorry, bear with me, but just one last one for now. Because, Auntie, as a performer, when you get into a character, you are doing this role, and you get into your character, and then when you're done with your performance, is there something that you do to come out to the reality, to ground yourself?
We do have a ritual. Actually, I don't call it as a ritual. The ritual that we practice before and then afterwards is the same. So we unwind the energy that we had earlier. So the performance, again, we do the same ritual after the curtain call. Yeah. So they are back again with the same.
Right. Because this I think it's intriguing, because I think for any creative process, no matter what kind of a creator you are, what's your medium, no matter what medium it is, I think one has to do that, isn't it, Auntie?
Yes, I think so. You need to unwind. Yeah. We can't go home like a Ravana or a Sita or Rama at home, right?
Like just like when a painters draw depicting a Ravana or depicting a Hanuman, and this is what I believe in. And do you agree with me, Auntie? Even if it's a visual artist, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I do believe.
Yeah.
We need to unwind it. Yeah, we need to unwind it. They come out of the energy after that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think it goes for when you perform Kathakali is the same. So while you're on stage, the Kathakali actor is he's a Ravana. Then when he comes out, he need unwind. So that ritual is like every dancer practices that. We teach our dancers also the same. Being in the character, it's important. Yeah.
Super. Thank you so much, Auntie. I just wanted to tell you that the Shakti within me bows down to the Shakti within you.
Yeah, I say with me too. Everyone here, to all the artists.
And all the Shaktis, when we all have a combined Shakti at the end of the day.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much, Auntie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Lots of love.
This opportunity to meet everybody. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for this honor.